On the news, Lugbe residents count losses after devastating flood kills 3, destroys properties. President Tinubu renames airports after Buhari, Usman Danfodio, Awolowo and others. And Nuhu Ribadu formally takes over from Monguno as National Security Advisor. Many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Simisola Adigun. Residents of Trademore Estate and its environs in Lugbe, Abuja can now heave a sigh of relief following what has been aptly described as a mini tsunami. Last Friday, over 100 houses were submerged while property worth millions of naira were damaged when a flood believed to be occasioned by a heavy downpour swept across the area. Residents say 3 bodies have so far been recovered after the devastating flood. Our correspondent Emeka Amako visited the scene and files in this report. Debris, litter and fragments are reminiscent of the flood that struck at Trademore and Wisdom Estates, as well as River Park, all in the Lugbe area of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Trademore Estate has over the years had its fair share of devastating flooding, with lives lost and huge economic loss. However, 2022 was a reprieve for the occupant of the estate, who never had the ugly tale of flooding to tell, despite the torrential rainfall recorded during the year. The respite TV360 gathered was due to the re-engineering remediation work by the owner of the estate, which ensured the expansion of gutters and demolition of buildings on the waterways. 2023 has so far turned out to be different from the previous year on account of the recent flood, which has recorded 3 deaths. 5, 4, 3, a site engineer may have survived the flood, but did suffer some losses in the wake of its impact.
So encourage members to always
and attributed his survival to the experience garnered in the course of the previous floods in the
newly
estate.
inducted 36th.
On Friday morning, I came to supervise some of my sites as usual. I parked around here and it was raining, not too heavy, drizzling anyway. So to my surprise, I was right inside the estate walking when I heard the volume of the sound of the rain coming. I say, what sound is this? When I now peeped to look outside, what was really happening? There was this storm of water coming, very heavy, and I could not even access my car anymore. When I get down here, I discovered that my car was covered, not only my own car, a lot of cars, and I think from what I saw that day, I saw over there you can see 406 parked, blue in color. Somebody, the person driving is an Uber, says to be an Uber driver. He was trying to see how he can escape from the water, but no way. Unfortunately, we get to understand that he was confirmed dead somewhere, and the car is still yet to be identified by the owner.
As is the case of floods and other natural disasters where first responders subsist, these local security personnel were handy to provide assistance at the scene of the disaster.
It started around 6 a.m. that Friday morning. So gradually we noticed the normal, water must flow through the gutter and it must flow through the bridge. So within 5 to 10 minutes, we noticed the water was increasing gradually. So I was like, what's happening? What's going on? So somebody, like one of my colleagues, told me, that something like this have happened before. So we should be careful and to know on how to leave the security post immediately. So it was that I need to leave this place because they've been here for so long. So I ran out, other people ran out with me. So the other person that was trying to run out of the security post also, before I knew it, the water just filled up and covered him inside there.
On their part, Hawa Lazarus and Nuruddin Mohammed are calling on the relevant authorities to scale up aid to the flood survivors, just as they seek proactive measures to avoid a repeat of the ugly development. Hawa says she lost property worth millions of naira to the flood, but wondered why measures against flood weren't considered when developing the area.
People lost things in millions, cars were lost, houses, things in the house, lives were lost, you know. So how much can you pay for a life that is lost, you know? These things are things you can actually get and buy, but what about somebody's life? Can you pay? How much do you think we can pay for life? So honestly, you can't quantify how much you can pay for this.
Many clothes, you know, say Muslim clothes, they are bringing it to Salah clothes, many yard did. So actually, I can't guess it like that. So, but many things spoil inside. You not get choice. Life pass everything.
Findings by TV 360 news crew showed that the floods were caused by infractions on the water channel with the construction of illegal structures. Residents say the Federal Capital Development Authority has a massive role to play in ensuring that buildings on the water channels are demolished. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has renamed 15 federal airports after some prominent Nigerians, including the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari. In a memo by the Federal Ministry of Aviation and signed by Director of Airport Operations, Joke Olatunji, the president renamed the airports as part of reforms of the aviation sector. The Maiduguri Airport was renamed after former President Muhammadu Buhari. Port Harcourt Airport was renamed after Obafemi Awolowo, while the Nasarawa Airport immortalized the late founder of the Sokoto Caliphate, Usman Danfodio. Vice President Kashim Shettima has decorated the new Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, describing the appointment of Adewale Adeniyi by President Bola Tinubu as a moral booster for officers in the service. The Vice President said this in a brief ceremony witnessed by the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, at the Presidential Villa. He also praised the new Comptroller General for bringing professionalism back to the Nigerian Customs Service. Speaking to journalists shortly after the decoration ceremony, Adeniyi expressed gratitude to President Bola Tinubu for appointing a serving officer as the head of the agency, assuring him and Nigerians of a more effective and innovation-driven customs service.
In the last 8 years, customs has gone through a period of transition. Some progress has been made. We made remarkable progress in e-customs. We made a lot of breakthrough in capacity building, but then customs can still live to its full potentials, you know, when we bring in some kind of innovations to drive customs operations. So these are the kind of things we'll be looking forward to in the years ahead. And I've gotten the assurance of the President through the Vice President. The expectations that we have is that we are going to be professional in our approach. There are a number of partners, stakeholders that we're going to be working with. It's a very onerous task for the customs, but we believe that we will be working alongside other stakeholders, other partners that we have identified who yearn to work with us, who felt that they've not been given enough say in customs matters, customs operations. So we intend to come up with a number of innovations that would help to carry along those stakeholders, those partners. We're going to leverage technology. We're going to try and use those innovative technologies to break new grounds in customs operations.
Nuhu Rebadu has formally taken over from Major General Babagana Monguno as the National Security Advisor on Monday. President Bola Tinubu had last week appointed Rebadu as the NSA. He was earlier appointed as the Special Advisor on Security to Tinubu before the current position. Rebadu promised to live up to the expectations of Nigerians and thanked Tinubu for renewing the hope of a more secure nation. Rebadu, a former police officer, was the pioneer chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) under former President Olusegun Obasanjo. In Osun State, the governor, Ademola Adeleke, has denied an alleged plan to pardon Ramon Adedoyin, the killer of Obafemi Awolowo University master student Timothy Adegoke. The chief press secretary to the governor, Olawale Rashid, in a statement on Monday, said political operatives are trying to blackmail the governor. Rashid also asked Osun residents to ignore the rumor, adding that the governor will not interfere in the sentencing and conviction of the hotelier. In May, Adedoyin was sentenced to death by hanging alongside 2 others over the murder of Timothy Adegoke, a postgraduate student of Obafemi Awolowo University, OAU. Nigeria's debt profile has risen yet again as the new administration of President Bola Tinubu struggles to revitalize the economy. A recent statement from the Debt Management Office (DMO) reveals that the total public debt stock of Nigeria as at March 2023 was 49.95 trillion naira. TV360's correspondent Folashade Ogunrinde in this report takes a look at the numbers and what they mean for the economy.
One of the major economic issues President Bola Tinubu inherited from the immediate past administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari is a high public debt stock running into trillions of naira, 46.25 trillion naira to be exact, as at the fourth quarter of 2022. Between December 2022 and March 2023, Nigeria accrued more debt of 3 trillion naira, summing the nation's public debt stock, which includes external and domestic debt, to 49.95 trillion naira. This, however, excludes the securitized 22.719 trillion naira ways and means advances of the Central Bank of Nigeria to the federal government, approved by the National Assembly in May this year.
It's important to note that that debt profile, the foreign debt component of that, is going to be jumping up significantly by the time the DMO releases, our debt numbers for second quarter of 2023, because by that time, the new exchange rate, all of our debt holding would have been valued at the new exchange rate. And, so we should see a significant jump up in the naira value of our foreign debt.
Nigeria's growing loan facility, which is almost becoming unserviceable, continues to worry experts, as reports have shown that Nigeria used almost 90% of its revenue to service debts.
And that's why we are seeing the government increasing taxes. That's why we saw the government remove subsidy on petroleum products. That's why I see the government saying we must pay VAT of 7.5. That's why we are seeing the government has also flooded the exchange rate. Just today, we are made to understand that cars charges have gone up by 40%. So those are the ways the government is trying to get more revenue into the system.
The government will need to respond by looking for new sources of revenue. And we are already seeing movement in that direction in the pronouncements of this government, in the policies that they've been putting out in the last 3 weeks. So I would strongly suggest that Nigerians should tighten their belts. It's going to be a bumpy ride in the coming months in terms of their disposable income. There's going to be serious, significant pressure on their disposable income in the immediate.
Experts agree that the new administration has to put words to action to improve Nigeria's revenue base, manage expenditure, as well as maintain a sustainable public debt profile. Folashade Ogunrinde, TV360 News.
We'll take a break here, but still to come. Osun wins Best African Player ahead of Mahrez and Salah. We'll bring you details of his story and more when we return.
Relax. That is my brother, and I want him out of this station now.
We are proceeding.
Okay. Can I just see the IPO of this case? IPO. How are you?
No, welcome, sir.
That is my brother, and I want him out of this station now.
Do you know the offense he has committed, sir?
What do you guys want for the weekend? Okay. Let me see your DPO.
This way, sir.
Oh, better. You don't know who is here. That boy is my brother, and I want you to assist me to free him.
The man found the gun, confessed robbery.
happens like this happening, 200,000 naira for you.
Are you bribing me?
500,000 naira.
Robbery suspect?
1 million naira.
That is corruption. Not allowed in this division.
1 million.
Remember, police is your friend. Giving and taking bribe is wrong.
Corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Digi 360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
Digi 360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. Residents of Trademore Estate and its environs in Logbe, Abuja can now heave a sigh of relief following what has been aptly described as a mini tsunami. Last Friday, over 100 houses were submerged while property worth millions of naira were damaged when a flood believed to be occasioned by a heavy downpour swept across the area. We also told you that President Bola Tinubu has renamed 15 federal airports after some prominent Nigerians, including the immediate past President Muhammadu Buhari. In a memo by the Federal Minister of Aviation and signed by Director of Airport Operations Joke Olatunji, the President renamed the airports as part of reforms of the aviation sector. Now, just in case you missed any of our news bulletins, so for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. India has logged 80 new coronavirus infections, while the active cases have climbed to 1,670 from 1,653, bringing the country's total case tally to 44,993,952. Now, according to the Union Health Ministry data updated on Sunday, the number of people who have recovered from the disease surged to 44,460,379, while the death count was recorded at 531,903. So far, 220.66 crore doses of COVID vaccine have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. One of the largest religious gatherings in the world has returned to full capacity this year for the first time since the onset of the coronavirus pandemic 3 years ago. About 2 million Muslim pilgrims officially began the annual Hajj pilgrimage on Monday, making their way out of Mecca after circling Islam's holiest site, the Kaaba, and converging on a vast tent camp in a nearby desert for a day and night of prayer. As the outbreak of the coronavirus led to worldwide lockdowns in 2020, Saudi authorities limited the Hajj to a few thousand citizens and local residents, with about 2.5 million Muslims taking part last year. I will take another break, but stay with us for more stories in business.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. Two of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes, so...
Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no. You don't need to do this. We are only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey. Okay, which came up with this one? I don't understand.
You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Let's now join Mary Kanu for business news. Over to you, Mary.
Thank you, Simsola. Welcome to Business News. The Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, has clarified that it has not raised electricity tariffs contrary to media reports. Reports had surfaced on some media platforms that the AEDC had announced an impending tariff increase despite not being approved by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. This announcement also comes amidst predictions from energy experts that electricity tariffs are expected to increase due to the managed float by the Central Bank of Nigeria and the austerity measures implemented by the administration of President Bola Tinubu. The AEDC emphasized that no approval has been granted for tariff increments and urged customers to disregard any notifications suggesting otherwise. We'll take a break and be back with Stock Market Report. Well, just as analysts had predicted positive sentiment in the market this week as a result of stocks trading at attractive discount, Nigeria's equities market has strengthened its journey into the green zone by 0.22% as the record positive sentiment persists on the Nigerian bourse. The all-share index and market capitalization increased to 59,335 basis points and 32.3 trillion naira. Now, the all-share in the aggregate, 122 listed equities participated in trading, ending with 46 gainers and 23 losers. Now, Transcorp Hotels and Ikeja Hotels topped the chart as both equities closed trading with combined gains of 4 naira in 8,052 deals. Investors traded shares valued at 13.05 billion naira. Now, in coming trade sessions, investors will look to book even more profits from gains recorded at today's trading. A switch now to the global scene. It's another mixed trading day as we see the FTSE affected by the aborted mutiny by mercenaries in Russia. This affected defense firms, leading to cautious trades, while in Asia, it's a bearish trading day as investors sold shares of technology stocks that have outperformed in 2023. Well, that's the stock market report. Simsola, back to you.
Thank you, Mary, for the update. And in international, Ukrainian forces have recaptured another formerly Russian-held settlement on the southern front between the two armies, the military announced this on Monday. Russian forces had confirmed that there was fighting for Rivnopil on June the 16th, 2 weeks after the official launch of Ukraine's summer counteroffensive. President Volodymyr Zelensky has admitted that the advance has not gone as fast as he had hoped, despite Ukraine starting to deploy more Western-supplied weapons and tanks. This month, Ukraine launched a counteroffensive against the Russian troops, occupying around a fifth of its territory in the south and east of the country. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
June 26, the 2023 BET Awards was held, and this edition celebrated 50 years of hip-hop with memorable performances from rap legends. At the awards, Nigerian musician Damini Ogulu, also known as Burna Boy, won the award for the Best International Act at the 2023 edition of the BET Award. The African giant musician beat the likes of Arya Starr, Central C, and Stormzy, among others, to clinch the most coveted category of the BET Awards. Burna Boy has been having an amazing experience this couple of years, as his 2022 album Love Damini was a worldwide success, and he also already took home a BET award in the same category in 2019 and 2021. Though Burna Boy was absent at the show, when he was announced as the winner, his announcement as the winner received resounding applause. Prankster and skit maker Abdullahi Maruf Adisa, better known as Trinity Guy, has appeared before a magistrate court in the Iyagonku area of Ibadan, Oyo State. The skit maker was quizzed by the Oyo State Police Command over one of his skits where he allegedly abused a minor and has been remanded in prison alongside the little girl's parent. Oludare Adebayo, who stood as a counsel for Trinity, urged the court to grant his client bail, which was denied as the magistrate judge Adetuyibi stated that the allegation against the skit maker is currently receiving the attention of the State Ministry of Justice. And that's it in the entertainment segment of News Now. Tamilore Akinkolia, TV360 Nigeria.
Finally, in sports, Napoli striker Victor Osimhen has clinched the Best African International Player prize at the Ghana Football Awards. Winning the award for the first time, Osimhen became the first Nigerian to achieve the feat. The Nigerian international pulled the highest number of votes ahead of Liverpool's Mohamed Salah, Manchester City's winger Riyad Mahrez, and Morocco's Yassin. The serial winner scooped the top scorer award in the Italian top flight and was also named the best striker in the league after an outstanding season for Partenope. Well, that's all on News Now this evening. Many thanks for watching. I am Simisola Adigun.